name is Mike Gaze. I'm the UK General Manager of WorldCare Pet Transport, and I am the owner of the office dog, Leica the Boxer. Before I really get into the presentation too deeply, what I wanted to say first and foremost is, and this will be on many of your clients' minds, pet safety. Now this is the most important part of a pet move, realistically bar none. Everyone in the chain knows about how important it is to keep pets safe, and it's something that we constantly are aware of in our decision making and our thought processes when it comes to organising pet transport. Throughout the move, we are constantly thinking, how are we going to make this safe? Are we going to make sure everything in the chain is how it should be in order for our pets to travel from A to B in a safer way as possible? All pets that we ship internationally have a veterinary examination and a fitness to fly health certificate. This is usually done in the days leading up to transport, and pets are issued with a health certificate that simply says these pets are fit to fly, and this is very important. We always plan our flights with the most direct route if possible. You can't always get a direct flight from New York to well, you can get a lot of good flights from New York actually. That's a bad example. From Ulaanbaatar to San Francisco. Sometimes we have to go via somewhere, and we're always conscious of making sure the whole route and any comfort stops are built in, so a pet isn't going straight off one plane onto another, or that they're stranded for a couple of days in a middle airport. Everyone between ourselves, our preferred partners around the world, and the airlines, we check, we make sure that they know exactly what they're doing and what the standards for international pet transport are. IATA, the International Air Transport Association, publishes guidelines, and we make sure that everyone in the chain knows exactly what they're doing. We always try and avoid high temperatures. Now this obviously changes where you're going, well, anywhere in the world, but there are certain places like the UAE right in the summer, in the heat of the day, that's where we need to avoid pets. It's the same in the States, it's the same in Australia in the winter months. In the northern hemisphere, we have to be aware of where it's going to be hot and where it's going to be really cold. The airlines do put in embargoes in certain places for certain times. We're always conscious of when that is. If we are in a position where we need to move a pet in a very hot part of the year, we'll always try and make sure that the pet is air conditioned all the way through, and that we're using flights that avoid the heat of the day. Airlines these days are much better at looking after pets from A to B. Air conditioning, air-conditioned vans, last on the plane. All of this stuff is very important, but it's always in our mind that we are never to do anything that jeopardizes the safety of a pet. We always want pets to travel and arrive safe and sound. So, who are we? Our head office is in Connecticut. We have our own offices in New York, London, Tokyo, Delhi, Beijing and Shanghai. We have a completely global presence with our own network of preferred partners. Our brand has become absolutely synonymous with high-level service and excellence. It really is something that we work very hard on to impress on all of our staff, on all of our preferred partners, how important it is that we provide the best service for pet transport around the world. Worldwide, we have over 50 staff members. Our most experienced staff have been with us for an average of 10 years, and we have a lot of pet shipping experience in there and a lot of customer service experience. Professionally, we are members of IPATA, International Pet Animal Transportation Association, in the IAM, SHRM and the Worldwide ERC. We try and go to these conferences as often as we can to get in touch and see you guys wherever possible. And IPATA meets twice a year, where people in the pet shipping industry can get together, share ideas and best practices. A little background from us. We were founded in 2001, and we've been working with Sirva in its various guises ever since. We saw that pet transport prior to this had been poor level of service, Communication was lacking. There wasn't very much in the way of a full door-to-door service. Usually you would be looking at a client going to an origin service provider and they would be, right, we will put your pet in a crate and we will send it off on its way. Be that from New York to London, where you'd turn up in London and you would have had to organise the origin services. Be that anywhere really. That was generally what the industry was like. There was not a lot of personalisation, really. There wasn't any. And the owners generally had to do so many bits and pieces of the pet transport. You could see from a mile away how difficult it would be for someone to do. And from what we could see, moving and relocation companies were hesitant to get too involved in this because the fact pet shipping is complicated. You guys have to deal with everything in an international relocation, and if you add in trying to do in-house pet services, inevitably it's going to be difficult and problems are going to arise. We like to think that we revolutionised the industry with our communication levels, our service and some of our innovations. Now, our innovations, there's a few of them. We asked for pet names. This is one of the most simple but effective things that we do as a pet shipper, and it's one of the first things that we ask of our clients. What are your pets' names? Traditionally it was your cat's transport to X or your pet's transport here. We want to know, is it Cuddles and Fluffy? Is it Bob and Bill? Is it Leica? We want to see pictures. There's a few reasons. One, it's good to verify the breed and the size of the dog, and two, it's great because you guys, relocation companies, get to see it. Humanizes the move a little bit more. It's different. It's nice to see pet pictures, and it lets us do more personalization throughout the move with our pet passport, with our pet postcards, travel labels. There's all sorts of stuff that we can do with pictures, and that ties into personalizing communications all the way throughout the move. As soon as we've got a pet name, as soon as we've got details, that's what we're talking about. It is never your pet's trip to the USA, it'll be Bob's trip to Madison, Wisconsin. We have a huge database of stuff that we've created ourselves, import and export country outlines. It's very difficult to find concise information out there for certain countries, so we've tried to have a library of our own information that you guys have access to. If you ever need anything, drop us a line, we'll give it to you. We do trip itineraries, travel labels, postcards, travel videos, all of this kind of stuff during the move. It's personalized, it's bespoke. We give it to clients, we give it to you guys, we give it to our agents, so everyone knows what they're dealing with, what kind of pet they are, what the pet's habits are, and if there are any issues we need to be aware of. Everything we do is to try and get the client, and then hopefully then yourselves, as comfortable and happy with the upcoming pet transport as they possibly can. We also have created numerous complementary services over the years. The pet protection plan, this gives clients peace of mind. It's similar to insurance in that we will cover certain issues if they arise, very rarely that they do. Global Pet Register, again, is a really amazing product for peace of mind for clients. It's in case pets go missing before or after a move. We have an international way of communicating between people losing their pet and people finding them. It happens very quickly, it's very well managed, and Global Pet Register, the service, has reunited dozens of pets over the last few years that have gone to their new destination in a foreign country and thought, well, I'm going to go have a little wander around and see what's about here. And grooming. We love to offer this on arrival within 10 days. We say to our clients, go and get your pets groomed. We'll reimburse up to $55 per pet, and it gives the pet a bit of pampering, and it gives owners a little bit of incentive to go out and find where their local pet facilities are, be it shops or grooming parlours. Like I've been saying, we were really key to get new terminology. Travel carrier. replace crate. You don't want to hear that your pet is going into a crate. Similarly, you don't want to hear that it's going in a crate in the cargo hold. We want to be telling our clients that Fluffy's going into a bespoke travel carrier and they're going downstairs into the pet cabin. And we're going to be doing all of this on his trip to Paris. Not we're putting your dog in a crate in the hold and we're shipping him. These things might sound fairly insignificant, but when we have clients, and pets really are the most important part of a move for a lot of people, these little touches really help. And we constantly try and bring this home to the client that we are safety and confidence minded. We always say that pets travel in the pet cabin. It's heated and pressurized just like it is upstairs for the owners. The only difference really is that the lights are off, and pets get to travel in these travel carriers which are large enough for them to lie down, turn around, fall asleep in, and it's a dark, warm room basically. And I always say, if you gave me the option between a long haul flight at the back of economy where I can't move or do anything, or a dark room downstairs in a box, you'd get me downstairs every day of the week, globally capable. We are the world's largest and most successful pet transport company. We constantly provide the safest and most cost-effective means in transporting pets who are usually not considered as pets. They are members of the family. We have a worldwide reputation for our service, for everything that we do. We are constantly trying to improve everything we do, and we are always passionate about what we do with our customers and our pets. We can go door to door anywhere in the world. Personalised executive pet transport between our own offices and our network of preferred partners. There is really nowhere on the world we don't touch and we can't assist in. We are also developing our own network of partners around the world who are keyed into exactly what we are after. So we're confident that whoever we use around the world know exactly what we want as a company, which is what you guys want from us, which is what the client wants from their pet shipment provider. So, this was Dolce Bigri. She went from Louisiana to Hong Kong a few years ago, same as my boxer. Boxers generally a snub-nosed breed, so they can be a little bit more difficult to transport because some airlines don't like taking snubs, but we always have ways of finding airlines that will, and routes that are safe and comfortable for pets. Now, I'm sure you've heard plenty of concerns from clients. I don't care about my household goods, I don't care about my spouse or my kids, my pet has to get there in one piece. And we hear that a lot, and that's fine. They are in a lot of cases considered the babies, and they really are number one. If my pet turns up and he's not in perfect condition, I'm coming for you. And aside from that, there are lots and lots of concerns. If you were transporting a pet internationally, there's no two ways about it. There's lots of things that are going to pop into your head as, oh, what if this happens, what if this happens? There's plenty of people out there who are nervous flyers, and that same kind of mindset goes into pets. Are they going to be safe? Are they going to survive? A lot of people are worried that simply their pet is going to get into trouble and die on a flight. And now this almost never happens. Does something happen where a pet is hurt or injured? Certainly never in transport. There are very rare occurrences where pets will pass away, but it's as likely, if not even less likely, than when humans get into trouble on flights. And in our experience in the 15 years we've been transporting pets, nothing has ever happened that hasn't been caused by a previous issue like an underlying health condition. People will be worried about how are the pets going to be transported, how physically are they going to be taken from A to B. How does the airline handle it? People see suitcases being thrown on an aircraft and think, oh God, is this what's going to happen? Fortunately, airline pet handlers are different to baggage handlers, and they are usually very well trained in pet transport and all of the processes that go into carefully transporting a pet. Separation time. There's no two ways about it in a lot of cases. If we're moving a pet from London to Melbourne, that's a long way. Pets are going to be transported by air and it's going to take days, all in all. People get worried about the separation, but that's really when we try and strive, when we send some of our communication that is in transport, taken off, landed, we've collected, we're at the vet. All of these things we try and communicate clients at every possible point in the move, get them as involved as we possibly can in their pet transport so they can see what's happening. Technology is also moving on massively. We can send text messages, we can communicate via WhatsApp, we can do so many different things now, but clients can get involved with their pet transport as often as they want. There's never too much information. Stress. Pets, a lot of pets are highly strung. My cat is highly strung, and I know for a fact that if we transported him, he would be stressed. He starts meowing as soon as he even thinks about going in the car to the vet. But generally speaking, pets pets handle transport really well. I transported my father's own 12-year-old Lhasa Apso to the States, and he arrived. He had a bit of jet lag for a couple of days. Pets get jet lag too. And after a couple of days, he was giving mum and dad a bit of the cold shoulder, but he got over it, just like we would if we always try and provide for every move. Should they be sedated? This is a question that we get a lot. Peace of mind. No. Sedation services for pets at our collection at the end of the day is everything from collecting the effects of the sedation are multiplied through to the airport, everything in between, delivery altitude, organising we never sedate pets, airlines won't accept boarding if the client needs it or wants it. We try and like to think that paper processes that we have in place try and minimise it so only as happy as possible sign a few documents, help bring these stress levels down for a routine appointment. We always want to make sure we are providing a comprehensive service. We provide unequalled communication levels throughout the move. Country regulations, our complimentary services, full destination package, emergency pet supplies, all of these things that we provide, we're trying to encompass what could go wrong, what does a client need, everything we try and put into one package and provide to you guys. As a side note, if we ever have a client who doesn't go with us for whatever reason, we're always going to give them information, say that's fine. We appreciate there are other pet providers out there who provide different levels of service. Here's the information you need, no worries, it's on us. And it's the same if you guys ever have just a query. It doesn't matter if it's a move that's theoretically going to be happening in 5 years' time. Just let us know. We can provide as much information as we can so you and your assignee has as much in front of them as they will need. As hopefully by now you're well aware, we do a lot of communication, and this is kind of what it looks like going throughout a move. You guys will send me through, or us in the UK office, an email saying please get in touch with this person. So we have a introduction template that we send out to all our clients. We ask them when's a good time to call, but first, what's your pet's name and can we have a picture? We'll make the phone call. You guys will be copied in the emails. We can do conference calling if needed. Once we've had that first call, we'll send a recap. This is when we start to go into a bit more detail of, right, this is where you're going, these are what the regulations are. We'll send through as much information as we can at that point. Throughout the move then, now when we know what we're doing, we will start putting our charges together, and aside from the client communication, that's when you guys will probably speak to myself. We'll send you the charges, they'll come back and be approved hopefully, and we'll send the client a follow-up to say you're approved and we're ready to start booking. So when we have made our bookings, usually a couple of weeks out from when the transport is, we send a trip itinerary and a travel label, which you'll see later. When it comes to the actual move day, or the move days, sometimes they take more than one day, we'll update the client when your pet's been collected and on the way to boarding or the airport. We'll send a postcard. When the pet has been checked in with the airline, same again. when the flight takes off, same again, when the flight lands, when they're on their way home, so we update people, they've arrived, they've gone through customs, we've got them now, we're on the way home, we'll be with you, and we always try and give an estimated time of delivery. Once everyone's home safe and sound, we'll send up a wrap-up email that you guys are copied into, and thank you. And that's it. There's a few steps, but we have a really great service and a really great process that we go through now, so clients are never left thinking what's next in my pet move, and I haven't had enough communication. Travel labels are another bespoke innovation by ourselves. Instead of just having a airline manufactured label saying dog going from London to New York, we take the time and use the pictures that we have to create travel labels. Hey, my name is Monday, I'm flying from here to here, this is my contact number if you need to get in touch with anyone. If I have any special requirements, that will be on there, and there's a picture, so you can have the airline handlers, the people that are seeing the pet, they will have a bit more of a rapport with them, they'll know their name, and if they see a black cat on the picture and there's a black cat in the travel carrier, we know we've got the right one. Not that that's ever happened. Similarly there, Pepper going from Hong Kong to Japan, everything that someone needs to see at a glance when the pets are with the airline is right there in front of them. On the day of the move, normally what happens is we collect pets the day before their travel. We can always work on whatever the client needs. If they need to move and get all of their stuff packed up 3 days in advance, we can come in and get the pets out of the way, so they don't have to worry about cats running away, which are really good at doing so. We can make sure that the client has whatever they need. We can also usually arrange transport all to happen within 1 day wherever possible. A lot of clients don't like any boarding whatsoever, but we always try and get what the client needs. When it comes to the day of departure, around about 4 hours prior to the flight leaving is when pets are checked in. It's a very similar setup to what we do as humans, but it's just a little bit longer. The airlines keep the pets in secure environments that are climate controlled. They have professional pet handlers there, so they're very well looked after, and the airlines that we use are really brilliant at handling pets. You can see in the picture on the bottom right there that those are 2 wooden pet carriers going on the plane, which is a KLM plane, and getting ready to go on looks like a small dog carrier. When they're loaded on, that'll be it. Pets are on, doors are shut, time to go. Our pet postcards are something that we work on every move. Pictures, communication, personalization. Cooper, I'm checked in, I'm ready to go, I'm going to see you tomorrow, Mum and Dad. Pepper again, everything's gone great, I'm on my way. Sometimes if we have a flight that's departing in the middle of the night in the UK, we'll try and make it our first priority in the morning when we get in and open our office to make sure, right, how's everything going? Good, right, let's send them a pet postcard and make sure the client is updated as much as they can be all the time. When pets arrive, generally speaking, they're first things off the flight. They get to go through their own customs and pet passport control. We check them on arrival, the airlines check them on arrival. If there are any issues, health issues, there's always a vet in very close contact, so if anything happens, they're going to get seen to immediately. And if an accident happens, as might do on a very long flight, we will always try and clean them up before we deliver them to the client, wherever it's secure to do so. It's very important that clients receive a happy pet back, and that's all part of it. And generally speaking, everything that we do, and we ship thousands of pets a year, goes perfectly according to plan. You guys are aware, problems do happen, as not every move goes perfectly, as hard as we try on every move. Transport issues for pets are almost always paperwork related. The amount of paperwork that goes into a pet transport can be running into dozens of pages, as I'm sure it is with household goods, and the smallest typo or wrong stamp or wrong date can always throw up big issues, and we have systems in place to check, and it's as simple as a number being wrong on a microchip that usually is the cause for issues. And normally we find that it's when the pets are at the airport, someone at the airport, like a government vet who's doing the last sign off, or it's the import-export permits. Something just isn't quite right. It's like misprinting a ticket. When these problems happen, we are great at resolving them. We always want to make sure we update you guys ASAP, same with the client. As soon as we realize there's a problem and we know what's happening, we're going to be in touch with you. The last thing we are ever thinking about is hiding a problem. We are trying to be as transparent as possible. These problems very rarely come up. I just want you guys to be assured that if problems do happen, we have systems in place, and our management team is available always. You'll have multiple contacts in a move, where if something is happening, you're always going to be able to get hold of someone to discuss it, no matter where it is in the world, no matter what time. Not that it happens very often, I promise. When everything is wrapped up, said and done, we do our CSIs and our feedback, and we seriously receive great feedback all the time from Sirva, from our other relocation partners, from clients. For Sirva, as of November 2016, out of 5 we're scoring 4.74, which is great. Personally, I'd love that to be 100% for every move, and as unlikely as it is, it would be nice. Every response that we get, good or bad, is reviewed. We review it internally with our team, we send it through to you guys for your comment if needed, and we send it through to our partners around the world who have been the ones handling the pets. Everyone I deal with, and I'm in charge of the feedback program, appreciates feedback, no matter how small it is, whether it's good or bad. It's so vital to keep improving our product and keep ensuring that our clients are happy. And we always want to make sure we exceed expectations wherever possible and create raving fans. On our 1 to 5 scale, 3 is we met your expectations, 4 is we exceeded them, 5 is we really exceeded them. So to be 4.74 out of 5, that's something we're really proud of. When we get our CSIs back, we ask clients to fill out a simple web form, really. We go back to our personalization department and we make up report cards. We have all of our scores there. We have any communication that's been given by the client, and these are the feedback forms that you're going to see. Once we get these ready, we send them through to you. We send them through to our agents and say, if it's one like these ones, which are all 5 out of 5, great job everyone, let's keep this up. If we get a 4 out of 5 or a 3 out of 5 or some comments, we'll always address them. So we're always looking to improve our services. Some of the things that I do to communicate with you guys and other relocation companies to keep us in your mind is our pet albums, which I'm sure most of you have seen. I hope everyone enjoys them. I enjoy making them, and it's a great way of showing what we're doing that's different, interesting moves. And our pet album lets pet us transport is certainly a niche in the industry, and it is very interesting for a lot of people. Send me some feedback if you want. It's not always cats, and like I said, we've been adding new destinations. Earlier this year, we sent a cat called Simba from Holland to Curacao. Now that was the first time we'd ever sent a pet to Curacao, but everything went according to plan, and we got to shout about it in our album. That's everything that I have for you guys today. I really appreciate taking the time to listen. Any questions at all that you have for myself, anything related to pet transport, there are no questions too small, too large for that matter. Anything that you are worried about or you want to address with us, I'm always available via email. Any feedback you can give us is really welcome. And we really appreciate your business, and we look forward to working with you guys in the future, and I look forward to seeing some of you in person, either be it in a visit or a conference. Thank you very much for your time, and have a good day.